Susan. Thanks for coming in. I thought I will invite you today to talk about UK as a destination because in last couple of weeks, in fact, last couple of months, we've been getting concerns from the parents, from students. Oh, there is a COVID, there is a second strain in the UK. Well, should I come in the UK now or not? And if I should, why? What is the reassurance? So I thought I had few ideas, and let's now discuss that. What do you think? Are you hearing such concerns from the parents?
Oh, definitely. I mean, East Asia, we've suffered from SARS about 10 years ago. So I think most of the families, parents of the generation, they still remember that. So very cautious indeed. But, I'm a parent, I have two kids. So I totally can relate to what these parents and families are thinking
Mm,
when they're sending their kids abroad. They need to make sure that their children are going to be safe. And no matter what age the children is, be it, 20 or 30, they're still kids, right? In the
definitely.
parent side. But I've got good news to share.
Mm,
So UK has been a leader in rolling out mass vaccination program.
definitely.
So until today, I mean, this is the real statistics. This is live, in fact. We have already vaccinated over 21 million people, adults, out of 66 million in the whole of Britain. So I reckon that's about one third of the whole nation is already being vaccinated and protected. And the government has promised us that by mid-July this year, all of the adults within the UK would have been vaccinated, including, foreigners if they're here. So I
Wow.
think that's fantastic news.
Amazing. And that is such a right timing because the next lot of student flow coming into the UK would be September, the major flow, I should say. And if
Yeah.
everyone is vaccinated by July, the September is quite a sweet spot there where parents probably can feel a bit more confident about sending their kids. I want to tell you this small incident. So yesterday, the schools got open in the UK, right? And my 4-year-old boy, he had to go to school after 3 months or so, right? And you would see that the from the previous lockdown to this lockdown, I saw that things have changed so much. People have started to accept the real, guidelines from the government. That people are so
Mm,
respectful about maintaining the distance, having the mask on. But the same thing, if I would have told last year in April, I was struggling to see many people following it, to be honest, and we were a bit skeptical about it. But I think the government has reinforced these policies and these guidelines in such a polite but still in a stern way that people
mm,
are taking it quite seriously, and that reassures me that my kid is going to the school today. He is safe. So I think this is the same analogy applies to international students as well, right? Because there are right guidelines, safety procedures in the
yeah.
universities as well, probably. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think how many lockdowns we've been through in the UK? This is the third one, and we're just gradually coming out. And we have learned so much, and
Mm,
we're definitely, I think, majority of the population in the UK are serious and take it seriously
mm,
about the whole protection. Protecting yourself is also protecting others. So I think
definitely.
we are not joking about at all. So
Mm,
whether or not we are flying abroad or welcoming other people to come in, we want to make sure that this is a safe environment for others and for ourselves,
exactly.
because you only live once. So you just have to be really careful. But
Yeah.
yeah, good news, I think.
And I think I really do appreciate the NHS track and trace mechanism, the way they have crafted. Initially, it was a bit wobbly, of course. It was a pandemic, nobody was expecting it. But now I think the curves have been smoothened out. All right. They have a real good procedure. If a student comes in to the UK land today, they know, they are giving in the information where the student is going to stay. He's going to be quarantined for 10 days or 7 days, and then he would be tested, and then it would be traced up until he or she would get vaccinated. So the track and trace facility is happening for real, right?
Mm,
And that is again a reassurance that, and it is free, right?
yeah.
You're not paying for it as compared to many other countries, especially America or India or in many other parts. You got to pay, small or big, irrespective, but it is free looking after yourself, basically. So yeah, track and trace is something I was initially having a debate with my friends about. Oh, this may work, this may not work, but they have proven it is working really well.
Yeah, I think UK might have started slower than
Mhm.
many other nations in the world. And maybe right at the beginning, we did stumble a lot. But all these lessons were worthwhile because we learned from it. And now the government, with the scientific support, are actually launching lots of programs to implement things to make sure that every corner, every facet is covered. So I think there's no better time to return to studying than, say, this September, this autumn. And on to a different subject.
Mhm.
Did you know? I mean, you must know. Starting from July the 1st this year, UK has brought back the PSW visa scheme, which
Oh,
is
yes.
post-study work. Aren't you excited about that?
I think we have been waiting for this formal guideline because this have been in the news from I think 2019,
Hmm.
and we have been waiting for the formal guidelines since long. And just 2 days ago, I think it was published, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is an amazing thing. I think when I came to the UK in 2006, we had this international graduate scheme, something similar to this. It gave us 1 year of stay back option after completion of the course, which allowed me to find a job in a bank. All right, and then
Mm.
eventually my career progressed, a bank to another job, and then eventually businesses, and so on and so forth. So what I mean is having 1 year or 2 years, this time 2 years for PSW, is
Mm.
so meaningful for the students to establish that employer relationship and actually kickstart your career.
No doubt about that. And I think it's very timely as well, because obviously, as we come out of COVID, the whole world economy is not doing that great. Everybody's need to rebuild their homeland economy-wise as well. So right now, it's probably not the best time to look for jobs. So why not invest in yourself in studying by the time you graduate, whether it's a 1 year master's or a 3 years undergraduate degree? I think you come out it even stronger. And then you have the PSW regime whereby you can actually stay for 2 years. You come out into the job market when the economy is picking up, is actually going into a bull market. So I think the timing is just fantastic. But you
Yeah.
got to catch it now. I mean, one thing, Abby, I want to share with you is that I think this immigration policy is very fluid.
Mm.
Like when you came to this country more than a decade ago, we had a policy, but then it got axed. Remember? All of a sudden, students can no longer stay in the UK after they graduated. They had to leave. So as governments change, as the politics party who's actually holding the upper hand in the government changes, policy changes too. So
Mm.
if you want to make use of it, do it now. Come and study now. So because once you're in, you're ensured that you're in the loop and you will be guaranteed that 2 years of stay. But if you come next year or the year after, who knows? It could get cancelled.
That's right. I'm thinking about it, and a very good reminder when you said it is like a cycle, and like 2006-7 was a boom where IGS then converted into PSW, and suddenly by 2009 it started straightening up,
Mm,
and in 2012 up to 14 it got really bad. The PSW was scrapped, and the UKVI was very strict on the visa rejections,
mm,
at least for many Indian students or non-European students, I should say.
yeah.
And then now, again, it is a cycle that it is again coming back. So, in my experience, what I see, it's not only UK; it's for any other country. Take it Australia, take it US. The Trump and Joe Biden, and then Barack Obama administration. So Trump made it really difficult. Barack Obama was quite accepting and welcoming, and now probably Joe Biden will bring it back. So there is always in troughs and curves, and you have to get into this when it is the right
Mm,
time. And probably because it is starting just now, it is just about the right time to
yeah.
get started. And the COVID is adding extra cherry on the top, right? Because
Mm,
as you rightly said, this probably is the time to invest in yourself, in learning, in developing your skills, getting a degree, where the other companies are under recession and there is not a lot of job. Assuming, I do not know the right figures, but assuming
mm,
because the businesses are coming out of business, um, they are struggling and there would be less job as before. So this time, if a student have a PSW advantage, have the time to invest in themselves, and then when they graduate they have jobs as well as the PSW. So right timing, perfectly
yeah.
said. Mm,
And I'll give you another cherry on top. I think UK has gone through lots of different things, including Brexit finally. And, obviously COVID struck us quite hard the whole of last year. So that's actually brought down the value of pounds. Now, I understand the pound strength is gradually creeping up again, but it's
mm,
still much weaker than, say, 5, 10 years ago.
definitely.
So you have the COVID working towards you because we are a safer environment. You have the PSW regime whereby you can actually be guaranteed a 2 years of working visa after you graduate. And now is the best time to actually secure the sterling price because you can actually purchase, or not purchase, invest in yourself with a slightly less dear
Mm.
tuition fees and living costs. All these three add up. It's almost all like all stars align, telling that this is the right time to come.
True. And another benefit, I would say, without getting too political about Brexit, for the non-European student, the students from Southeast Asia or the South Asia, um, UK is now focused to develop that relationship with non-European countries. All right.
Mm,
And developing that relationship is not short term, it is a long term relationship in trade, in education, in investment. What means that is the immigrant students or the international students, those who would be working in the UK, would have better chances than before because previously the competition was versus European student who did not
mm,
need work visa. All right. And the non-European students were disadvantaged by somehow because if there is a European candidate for the same job and an Indian student for the same job, the Indian
mm,
student would require sponsorship where the European student would not. Right. And
mm.
of course it was easier for the employers to hire that European student, which would not be the case today. It would be a level ground
Yeah,
for
everybody's
both
on the
parties.
level playing field.
Yeah. So I think Brexit has, of course, some pros and cons, but for international student, of course, it is a good sign, definitely. And then not to forget the existent reason of being in the UK. So UK is a study destination, right? We were talking about like 18 world's top university. You were talking about that, right?
Yeah,
Are
18.
UK.
I mean, within, say, we take the QS global ranking, for instance, the top 100, there are 18 UK universities within the 100.
Mm,
Yeah, I think America is something like 26. So
mm,
by far, UK is the second largest in terms of the university representation in the
mm.
top 100.
So
So
the
the
quality is.
golden standard is still there.
Definitely, the quality is definitely there, and I think the UK universities realize the value of international student more than ever. Of course, they always did, but then it is
Mm,
it is more highlighted because it is adding not only the extra revenue but also the diversity of a good student experience within the university. So there, it is of a high value, and I think one of the factors we discussed about the ranking is the international student versus domestic student ratio is also given a lot of importance in the ranking, isn't it? So that is a
yeah.
very good pointer to take in. Another point I wanted to bring in, Suzanne, is I was speaking to few students and asking them why did you choose UK over US or Australia for that matter, is a very simple 1 years of master's degree, whereas
Mm,
in the other countries do offer 2 years of master's degree. And I think this is a very good advantage, not only saving time but also money. If you're studying for 2 years, of course you're spending twice as much in living and in the tuition, but UK universities are offering 1 years of masters plus 2 years of post study. So
yeah, time is money, in fact. It's not just the monetary investment you make, but it's your time.
hmm,
If you can actually save your time and get into the job market much earlier, say at least a year earlier than your mates down the road, and then you have better opportunities, right?
exactly, exactly. I think these are plenty reasons, of course, for somebody to
Mm,
choose UK as a destination. If we just try to list one, of course, a great COVID vaccination, NHS track and trace free, and support there. Then we talked about the 18 global ranking for the UK university in terms of quality. Fourth, what was that?
PSW.
PSW, the big thing, Brexit, right? We
Yeah,
spoke about the benefits of Brexit. What
yeah,
else?
and the devaluation of pound sterling. Well, at
The
least,
economy. Yeah.
still quite low, okay, but it will go up. It will
Yes.
go up.
Yes.
Mm.
definitely. And 1 years of master's degree. So I think these are seven great reasons that students and parents should consider when they're looking
Mm.
for study destinations.
Yeah. So we welcome you back, international students. We really hope sincerely that you will still consider UK as your prime destination, and we can't wait to help you to come fulfill your journey and take
Yes,
you over here.
definitely. And if you have any other questions or some topic that you want to hear from us, please like, subscribe, and comment. And reach out to Susan and me. We would be more than happy to take your questions and help you out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.